Hi, my name is Crystal, and I'm eager to talk to you today about organizational communication and what that is and how it will benefit Acme Widgets organization. Have you ever had a conversation with your boss or with your spouse or with your children and thought about how differently you communicate within each conversation? Communication involves when individuals send and receive messages to each other through various channels. So, communication within an organization is the transmitting of different messages throughout the organization's functions that shapes the culture or the social reality of that organization. Organization as communication is a process that involves organizing, planning, decision making, controlling, and coordinating amongst the different functions within an organization. So, how we communicate with each other within our organization shapes the structure of our organization. Making sure that the right people receive the right information at the right time will help avoid some miscommunication. There are five functions of communication within a business. They are motivation, control, interaction, providing information, and providing feedback. The first function of communication is motivation, and this is the type of communication that is sent to employees when you want to motivate employees to reach an objective for the organization. For instance, maybe employees can get a bonus award if they reach above the sales target for the week. The next function is the control function, and this is the type of communication that is sent between employees and is written communication so that employees can understand the rules and regulations of the organization. The written policies that are spelled out in the organization tells employees how to control their work environment and conduct themselves as an employee of the organization. The interaction function is the type of communication where employees are able to communicate with each other, whether it's through instant messaging, email, or telephone call. Employees are able to communicate and interact with themselves through these various channels. The other type of interaction is interactions that employees may have with customers, either by a sales transaction or a telephone call to resolve customer issues. The next function of organizational communication in the business is providing information. This type of communication is information that is transmitted throughout an organization regarding information that is valuable to employees or outside stakeholders. For instance, information regarding a new process can be sent out through team members within an organization through email, or externally, customers may receive information about a new promotion. The last function of organizational communication in a business is providing feedback. And that's exactly what it is. It's communication that allows for feedback to be sent or given by employees or customers. For instance, employees may give team leads feedback about a software issue that involves the sales program, or customers may give feedback regarding a product or a service. Transparency is important in organizational communication because it is the actions of the organization that can be seen by outsiders. We want to make sure that the information we provide to our stakeholders has integrity. Transparency is accountability, and it is holding the organization accountable for the promises that we've made to our stakeholders. There are three dimensions of transparency, and the first dimension is information disclosure. And this is choosing what information can be shared with whom. And this is the type of information, for instance, if a doctor has private information about a patient, they can only share that information with the patient unless given permission by the patient themselves. The next dimension is clarity. This is information that is given and how easily it can be comprehended. So, for example, limiting jargon and other technical terminology in your communication provides more clarity when it comes to sharing information. The next dimension is accuracy, and we want to make sure that when we're being transparent with our stakeholders, that the information we give out is not embellished or distorted, and that we do not mislead our stakeholders. Branding and marketing are key to having a successful business. So, branding is a creative strategy that promotes or sells the product, and it differentiates that product in the competitive market. And marketing is the process of promoting or selling the final product. So, branding helps us to strategize and dictate the product's planning and tells us how to communicate to our internal and external stakeholders. Marketing helps us formulate a plan to promote the final product or service. Acme's brand is affected through the five functions of organizational communication. Using the five functions of organization as a strategy will help Acme communicate with its internal and external holders. So, through the functions of organizational communication, Acme establishes their brand's image. The motivation function of communication helps Acme to establish a relationship with their employees by providing clear information regarding incentives to help motivate employees achieve Acme Widget's objectives. The next communication of control is where Acme provides written communication to its employees regarding information on how to manage employees in their work environment. So, written policies regarding attendance or dress code or meeting sales goals is established through the control function of organizational communication. The next function is the interaction communication, in which employees are able to interact with one another through various channels. So, building the relationships and trust through the interaction function of communication helps Acme to continue to build upon their brand and establish the loyalty and trust amongst its employees. Also, interacting with customers is also important, being that Acme Widget is a for-profit business, and providing great customer service to our customers helps establish that relationship, and it is key to meeting the bottom line for Acme Widget. And then you have the providing information function of organizational communication. And this type of communication is information that is sent out to internal, external stakeholders regarding information regarding the company. For instance, information sent out to employees about a new sales promotion also can be sent out to the external stakeholders, such as customers, so that everyone is in line with how the new sales promotion works. And this also increases the bottom line for Acme Widget. And then lastly, providing feedback. Getting feedback from employees within the company allows Acme Widget to have opportunities for improvement. And also receiving feedback from customers regarding a particular service or product also helps Acme Widget's brand, as far as identifying any gaps that has been miscommunicated to internal and external stakeholders. Acme's brand can be maintained and built upon through strategies using integrated marketing communication, or IMC. And IMC helps ensures that the messages that we send to our stakeholders all work together in harmony and that we add value to Acme's brand. There are different levels of integration when it comes to communicating in a business. We all know that working in an organization, communication can be miscommunicated through the different functions of the business. So the horizontal communication is communication that is integrated among the different functions of business or across the different functions of business. And then the vertical communication is integration where Acme Widget employees may provide information to higher level management. And then the internal communication is internal marketing that keeps all of Acme's staff informed and motivated about new products. And then the external communication is communication that we send to our external partners, such as advertising agencies. And we want to make sure that we share a cohesive message with our advertising agencies so that they can understand our goal and our objective. And then data communication is any marketing information system that collects data and it can be shared amongst the different organizational functions. So within IMC, we want to make sure that we establish who our stakeholders are and why are they important. Understanding who our stakeholders are ensures us that we send the right message to the right people at the right time. And then we want to determine the communication channels. What channels and ways how we want to communicate with our stakeholders internally or externally, whether it be through email, telephone, or even commercial ads. And then we want to develop our brand message. Developing our brand message helps us customize messages for each stakeholder. We want to make sure that we send out messages that are consistent, but we also want to make sure that it's customized to each stakeholder, because what we share with internal employees may not be something we share with external stakeholders. And then we want to align and reinforce our brand to external and internal stakeholders. We want to make sure that we train our employees to understand that they should provide a consistent and clear message to each other and to our customers. And then lastly, we want to conduct a brand audit. And this is the providing feedback function of communication. And getting feedback from internal and external holders will help maintain Acme's brand so that we can identify any gaps again regarding Acme's brand and its stakeholders. Having a dedicated role for organizational communication is important because we want to make sure that the messages that Acme brand provides are clear, consistent, and constant. Having a dedicated role for organizational communication within Acme will have the responsibility to align cohesive brand communication with our internal and external stakeholders. This role will act as a brand champion and ambassador. And as a brand champion, it's the responsibility to protect and promote Acme's brand as the main objective. And as a brand ambassador, it's important that we demonstrate Acme brand's core values with each customer interaction. As an ambassador or champion for Acme, it's important that we provide clear communication about Acme brand's values because it dictates our brand's message. It is important that we ensure that the communications that we provide are clearly linked to Acme's core values. And sending clear messages to our stakeholders will add value to Acme's brand. It will also be the responsibility to provide consistent images and clear, consistent messages of Acme's brand so that customers will recognize Acme's brand in the market. Relevant, useful communication to our stakeholders reduces risk and choice and builds Acme's credibility. And then continuing to reiterate Acme's brand messages establishes a presence in the market. Sending messages that are similar and constant will help customers remember Acme's brand and its values. A focused role in Acme Widget's organization will focus on implementing a strategic integrated marketing communication strategy that will support the 3 C's: clarity, consistency, and constancy.